Hello friends, welcome to our RV YouTube channel. In today's session 27 of electric drives and control, we are going to discuss about dynamic or rheostatic braking control of separately excited DC motor drive using a chopper. So first let us discuss about the contents. First we will discuss about introduction, followed by the circuit diagram, and we will discuss about the operation with the help of the waveform, and at last we will discuss about the mathematical analysis in which we are going to derive the effective value of the braking resistor. So first now let us continue with the introduction. Braking means stopping or opposing the motion of a motor. So if you want to stop a motor, the braking power is required. So that braking power can be obtained by means of dynamic braking control. So this dynamic braking control is also known as rheostatic braking control, because here this dynamic braking control is achieved by means of connecting the braking resistance. Hence it is known as rheostatic braking. It is one of the type of electrical braking. The electrical brakings are of regenerative braking, dynamic braking, and plug-in. So here in today's session we are going to discuss about dynamic or rheostatic braking by means of using a chopper. And here uh, how we are going to achieve the braking or stopping the running motor, or how we are going to achieve the braking power in order to stop the motor or oppose the motion of running motor is, so the principle of operation is like that. By means of controlling the duty ratio of the chopper, we can brake the motor. That means by means of varying the duty ratio of the chopper, we can control the braking power. Therefore, we can control the braking of the DC motor. So this is the basic idea which we are going to use in dynamic or rheostatic braking of a DC motor by means of using the chopper. First, let us discuss about the circuit diagram. So here in this circuit diagram, this DC supply voltage is replaced by the braking resistance RB. So this RB represents the braking resistance. And here it is a switch S which is going to act as a chopper. This may be a transistor even. And here RE represents the armature resistance, LA represents the armature inductance, and here IA represents the armature current, and here E represents the back EMF of the motor, and A and AA are the armature terminals of the motor, and here VA is the armature voltage across the armature terminals of the motor. So let's discuss about the braking operation by means of using this circuit diagram through these equivalent circuits and this waveform. So here, first in first mode of operation, the switch S will be closed. So please refer to the circuit 1. So when the switch S is closed, the current IA flows through the armature inductance, armature resistance of the motor, and through the switch and to the armature terminals. So here what happens is the mechanical load which is connected to the motor will supply a mechanical input energy. So that mechanical input energy will be converted to the electrical output. That means here this motor is trying to act as a generator, and that electrical output energy which is obtained from this motor for the timing it is acting as a generator. So that energy will be stored in the armature inductance, and the partial amount of the energy will be dissipated through the armature resistance and will be flowing through the switches. So if you observe at this circuit is a short circuit. Therefore, the voltage across the armature terminals is 0. So for this VA is equal to 0 is drawn in this waveform. So at t is equal to 0 milliseconds, see, please refer the waveform. In this waveform here, VA represents the armature voltage. So we are going to draw the armature voltage in this curve. And here IA represents the armature current. So we are going to draw the armature current waveforms in this armature current plane. So at t is equal to 0 milliseconds, as we mentioned, the switch S will be closed. Therefore, the current will be flowing through the armature inductance and the switch S. So at this time of operation, what happens is your armature current will increase. Okay. So here the armature current is increased from the minimum level of the current IA1 to the maximum level of the current IA2. Here IA1 is assumed to be minimum level of the current, and IA2 is is considered to be the maximum level of the current IA2. So here, how this armature current increases is this mechanical input energy is being given, and this motor, as we discussed earlier, this motor is trying to act as a generator. which is feeding the electrical output energy, so that the electrical output energy is stored in the form of electrical, is stored in the form of magnetic field energy in your armature inductance. So therefore, what is happening is the armature current through the armature terminals is increasing. So here, this armature current is increasing from the minimum level of the current IA1 to the maximum level of the current IA2. And when it reaches the maximum level of the current IA2, what happens is the switch S will be opened. So after that, what happens is, please refer to the equivalent circuits too. So when the switch S is opened, the current, in previous mode of operation, the energy was stored in the armature inductance, right? So that particular energy will be start flowing through the braking resistance RB. See here, the current IA is flowing through the braking resistance RB and to the motor. So what happens is, the energy whichever is stored in the previous mode of operation will be dissipated through the braking resistor RB. Okay, therefore here we will have a voltage across the armature terminals as VA, which is nothing but the drop across our braking resistance. This output voltage VA is nothing but equivalent to the drop across our braking resistor RB. So now let us draw this voltage waveform in our waveform. See here, this from this period to this period, right? At this period, the switch S is half. So therefore, the power is, or the current is flowing through the braking resistance RB, and we have a voltage across the armature terminals, which is equal to the drop of the braking resistance. So that is drawn here in this black color, which is the output voltage when the switch is in half position. See here, it is written as half. So during the half position, the output voltage appears across the armature terminals, which is drawn here. So what happens to the current at this time of operation? So at this time of operation, since the energy is dissipated in the form of heat through this braking resistor RB, the armature current will decrease. Therefore, the armature current is decreasing from the maximum level of the current IA2 to the minimum level of the current IA1. So when the armature current reaches the minimum level of the current IA1, again the switch will be made into turn on position. So this operation repeats. Now let us discuss about mathematical analysis. So first let us calculate the energy consumed by the braking resistance RB. That means this RB, in the circuit we have an RB, right, braking resistance. So now let us try to calculate the value of, or the energy consumed by the braking resistance RB. So fundamentally we know that energy is equal to power into time. So power is nothing but I square into R. Therefore energy becomes I square R into time. So based on this formula we can write energy consumed by the braking resistance RB as Ia square RB into T minus T on. Here the time period is T minus T on because the braking resistance is on for a period of time of T minus T on. See, please refer to the waveform. Please refer to the waveform. From here to here it is T on, right? From here to here it is T on, and from here to here it is T. Therefore, this period of time is T minus T on. So during this period, we have the operation, or the braking resistance is operating, or the current which is flowing through the braking resistance is at this time period. So here we have took the time as T minus T on. So now let us calculate the power consumed by the braking resistance. So power can be written as energy divided by time. So what happens is, now the power becomes P is equal to, the energy is we have already found as Ia square RB into T minus T on. So just substituting that, Ia square RB into T minus T on divided by the total time period is T, which is equal to Ia square RB T by T minus T on by T. So T and T get cancelled with each other, so it becomes 1, and T on by T is nothing but the duty ratio, right? Del is equal to duty ratio of the chopper. Here del represents the duty ratio of the chopper, which is T on by T. Therefore, what happens is, our power consumed by the braking resistance RB is given as P is equal to Ia square RB into 1 minus del. So if you look at this equation, by means of varying or controlling this duty ratio of the chopper del, we can control the braking power PB. So this is how we can control the braking of a motor. So from this equation we can write P by Ia square is equal to RB into 1 minus del. So this is considered to be equation 1. So here basically resistance R is equal to P by Ia square. So based on that we can write the effective value of the braking resistance RBE. Here RBE represents effective value of braking resistance. Okay, RBE represents effective value of braking resistance. So effective value of braking resistance RBE can be written as P by Ia square. So now let us substitute this 2 in 1. What happens is, so when we substitute 2 in 1, we will get RBE. That means effective value of braking resistance RBE is equal to RB into 1 minus del. So this is the value of the effective value of the braking resistance. So by means of controlling the duty ratio of the chopper, we are able to control the braking power which is required for the braking of a DC motor. That is all about this session. Thank you.